Hello, I'm Kirsty or _Diamond Painter. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the August WIP Chat. So August has been a busy month. It feels as though I haven't done a WIP Chat in ages. If anything, I was late with the last one, so it's been closer together than I would normally do them, but it's been so busy that it feels like it's been longer. Anyway, whoops, that's me dropping things already. I am working on Cottage by the Lake by Diamond Art Club, which is this one here. I'm about halfway through and I'm finally getting past the mass confetti sections. So all of these kind of bushes and flowers have been very confetti heavy, which I'm not a fan of, turns out. But I'm getting to kind of the watery sky areas now, which is a lot nicer on the colour blocking front. The pen I am using is actually from a company that I'll start again. The pen I'm using is actually from a company that is no longer in business. Sepler Delator? Sepler Alator? It was something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. The tips are from Diamond Art Club. So that is the pen that I'm using. The putty that I'm using is Pink Fizz from Crafting Cat UK. This one here. And it's kind of lost its smell in the placer. It smells like kind of fizzy bath bomb, I would say. So that is what I'm using. I do kind of need to replace the putty in the pen now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to struggle on until it really, really doesn't stick anymore. The release papers are from Bee's Crafty Corner. I would assume that the name of the design is something to do with sunflowers. Again, I should really look these things up before I start filming. Never learn. But I will put links to everything in the description for you. And then I am once again kitted up into trays, my Bella Art Nicole trays. Yeah, and a couple of colours are in the Art Dot screw top containers, as there's not many of those ones. So that is everything there. Yes, see, I love all of this colour blocking area. That makes me happy. I would normally start with this blue S, but as it's quite near the edge and that's in my max tray, I might go in a little bit further this time. It's because I'm quite tired at the moment and I just don't trust myself balancing the max tray on the edge with the tripod next to me and me not knocking anything over. So we shall avoid that. Yeah, how's everyone's August been? Have you also been incredibly busy? Have you done anything exciting? Let me know. Or if it's just that you have completed kits and are excited about those, let me know what you've completed, what you've been working on. I started the month working on the natural parks. Close enough. I was working on the Natural Parks Edition 2 from Paint Gem, so the mini kits. And yeah, I completed those at the start of the month. I will put a photo up here for you if you've not seen them. They were quite fun. A nice little break between the larger kits. Although, I mean, I did write this in my kind of notes for the kit as I log it, but I'm pretty sure I was having trouble with the sticky on that one. I've done Paint Gem kits before and it's never been an issue, but I feel like this time things just weren't sticking. I don't know if it was because we had quite a few heat waves at the start of August, if it was the kind of humidity and unusual heat that was causing the putty not to work as well. If it was the actual kit itself, with the glue not being as sticky, I don't know, but that was quite frustrating. And then also at the start of the month, Diamond Art Club released craft tables, I guess you would call them. I think that is what they were called. And obviously they were USA only because they are such a big item. I can't imagine what international shipping would have been on those. They were actually something that they hadn't created themselves. Jones, the craft store, I believe, in the US went into administration and they bought the desks from them because they could no longer accept the delivery, I believe is what happened. So then they were obviously just sending them on for discounted price. I was surprised about the number of people that, as soon as they released like the kind of sneak peek, these are going to be available on whatever day it was, the amount of people that were like, I need one, I'm getting one, I'm going to be getting this one. And I'm like, but you haven't seen dimensions. What if you don't have space for it? And yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Oh, not so much like the cost side, kind of irrelevant. They were expensive, or what I would consider expensive for a desk. But obviously I don't know if that would be a reasonable price for a desk in the US, as I'm not based there. But it was more so for me the kind of size of the object. It's a physically big purchase, and to make that kind of decision literally a few minutes after seeing a post about it, I don't know, I personally wouldn't be able to do that myself. This desk that I'm working on, I got a couple of years ago now. But I spent a good 3-4 months looking at different options, seeing where the best deal was, seeing if it would fit the space, how big it was compared to my old desk. Like, I measured and remeasured many, many times just to triple, quadruple check that I was going to be happy with it. I don't think I'd be able to make a purchase like that just by seeing an image without even seeing the descriptions, price, anything. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's normal maybe that's a weird thing for me, and it is normal to do that. But let me know, did you get one? And are you happy with it? Were you thinking of purchasing a desk if you did get one before they announced that? So I did see comments like some people were looking for desks anyway, and they were like, oh my god, this is such a good opportunity, it's come at the perfect time. But if you weren't looking to replace a desk, what made you get it if you did get it? Is what I'm genuinely just curious to know. So it's not something I would do just on a whim, no matter who released it or what brand was releasing it, should I say. So yeah, it just kind of got me curious. I did purchase something from Diamond Art Club though, which again kind of slipped with my not purchasing kits this month. I purchased the Awake Your Magic kit, which was released the 2nd of April 2022, and I've had it wishlisted since that release date, and I don't know why. It went low stock. Every now and then I'll kind of have a look through the low stock, see if anything from my wishlist is on there, and this one was, and I was looking at it and thinking, you know what, I've just got this feeling that this one is going to be discontinued once it sells out. So I purchased it, and it continued to stay low stock for a good few weeks. And I was then kind of doubting myself, thinking, oh, it probably wouldn't have gone discontinued. You know, it's obviously still there. It's been a popular seller. But at the same time, it's been so long in low stock that, I don't know, I just had that feeling. And lo and behold, it actually went out of stock a week ago, a few days ago. I don't think it was longer than a week ago. And it's now been discontinued. So I am actually very pleased that I did get it. Just because I've been wanting it for so long. It was one of my kind of must-have wishlist items. I'm very kind of loose with my must-have purchases though. So I have split my wish list. This goes across any kind of diamond painting company that I purchase from. I've got my general wish list, and then I've got ones that, if I were told, are going to be discontinued. Not that some companies do that, but if I knew it was going to be discontinued, I would buy it. So they're my kind of two wish lists, and this was in the if it's going to be discontinued, I'd buy it category. So yeah, I'm happy I've got that. A few from that list have been discontinued without me knowing before. I was a bit disappointed at the time, but there's so many kits being released every single week that there's always something else that I will like more. Obviously, if I was that desperate for it, I could buy it off D-Stash as well. I've never ventured into that. I know there are Europe and UK D-Stash groups, but I don't know. I've just never looked into D-Stash for myself. So that is the third kit I have now purchased this year. So I'm still doing pretty well considering I wanted to reduce my stash. That's not too bad. Also had a pretty kind of fun day, or out of office fun day, maybe. It was like a team building thing, kind of, but without all the cringy team activities. We went out for a bottomless brunch, which was really nice. And then obviously went to the pub afterwards because, what do you need after having a lunch with, or a brunch with endless alcohol? More alcohol. But it was actually a really nice evening, afternoon. It was really sunny, which was good. I was a bit concerned that I got sunburnt, because knowing that we were going to be inside in a restaurant, I didn't think to put sun cream on. And then we kind of got a bit warm in the restaurant, so when we were finishing last drinks and just kind of like chilling before leaving there, we went into their garden, which was in direct sun. It was very warm. And then the pub afterwards, obviously we were in the beer garden. We were under a umbrella there though, and this is where I thought I got really sunburnt. So the umbrella was red, which I didn't think about at the time, but the red was obviously casting a redder colour onto all of us. Me being incredibly pale anyway, it looked like I was really, really sunburnt. And then when I got home, I was like, okay, need to get after sun on, moisturise everything, because, that's bad. Looked in the mirror and I was slightly red from where I'd walked from the train station back to mine, but I wasn't sunburnt red, which was a relief. I was quite happy with that. And that's when I realised, oh yeah, we were sat under a red umbrella. That's probably why I looked so bad. But yeah, that was a nice day. We had a few new staff members as well, so it was nice to kind of get out of the office and socialise with them in that way. For the first time with those ones anyway. And so yeah, what else have I done? I had a week off work. So yeah, that was just kind of having a bit of a break, because from now until the middle of October, I'm going to be incredibly busy. So I took a week off while I could, basically, to just relax and prepare before the busy period hit. I went to IKEA, which an IKEA trip is always a great trip, and I've ended up completely replacing my plate set. So I've got a nice new plate set, got some mugs as well, which will match in. I'm very excited about them. I've used them a few times now. Yeah, I'm also really pleased. Occasionally I'll have a frozen pizza, just because, you know, it's easy, don't want to cook, shove it in the oven for 15-20 minutes and then you're done. I had one a couple of nights ago, and the sides of these plates kind of like curve up slightly. The pizza fits exactly perfectly inside the plate, and it's like the plate is hugging it. So I got very, very excited about that. I don't know if you can tell. It just proves that they were the perfect plates to buy, in my opinion. And what else did I do on my week off? I went down the beach a couple of times, and I also played Crazy Golf, which was fun. I think I came third out of the 4 people that I was with. I was just with some family, which isn't too bad. I was more annoyed that I was in first place right up until the last hole, and the last one you had to there was a very, very narrow opening that went up quite a steep hill that you had to get the ball through. And I got it through there on my first attempt, and at the very top of this hill there was like a hole that it dropped through. Rather than dropping through there, it bounced off the back and then came back down. Once it did that, I couldn't get it to go back up at all. I think it was like par 3, and it took me about 12 attempts. So if it hadn't have been for that last hole, I would have won. But that last hole then dropped me into 3rd place, which was disappointing. Still had a really fun morning though, so yeah. And I also had a barbecue with family as well, which was nice. I mean, barbecues are great anyway. So yeah, I played some table tennis, just chilled out. Did a lot considering it was a week that I was gonna chill and try not to do much. But it was all fun things, so it's all good. And going back to diamond painting, I did order a few more diamond painting kits. So I've now ordered 5 this year. But I feel like these ones, again, I didn't have to, obviously, but it was either order them or never be able to order them again. So Bella Art to Nicole, Bella Art Diamonds, whatever you want to call them, same company. Obviously, you know I love them. I've got pretty much all of their 3D printed stuff, or a lot of it anyway. All of the 3D printed stuff I own, other than 1 or 2 bits, are from them. I'm a big fan, but they are changing supplier for their diamond paintings, which they've had quite a few problems with. They've had quite a few problems with the current supplier, so I'm not surprised they're changing at all. Obviously they've paid for hand rendering of every image that they currently have. There's about 300 images, I believe, that they've released over the years they've had the company. Their supplier is not releasing those renderings, even though they've paid for them. So, you know, you would assume that they've paid for them they own them. No. Yeah, the supplier isn't handing the rendering information over to the new supplier, so unfortunately they are discontinuing everything that they currently have for sale. I had about, I don't know, 15, 16 kits wishlisted with them. Obviously I could not purchase that many, even if I had the space and wasn't trying to reduce my stash. I would not be able to afford that many kits. So I reduced it down to about 6, and then finally got it down to the 2 that I would be most upset to not be able to purchase. So yes, I have now ordered those 2. I think the day that I'm recording this is actually their final day to put in an order, which is sad. Obviously they've got new kits being rendered with their new supplier already, and any that they've got physical stock of in the US, they will keep up until the physical stock is sold out. But it would be delivery to US only, I would assume, because at the moment they do drop shipping for international customers, just because shipping from the US with things like diamond paintings that are so heavy and large boxes, it's so expensive. But they will also be moving to a completely drop shipping model with the new supplier as well. So yeah, probably won't affect international customers too much, although I do feel like Nicole said they wouldn't be shipping international to start with, until they've kind of got everything lined out and set up properly with the new supplier. Yeah, kind of sad, but also exciting that they're kind of moving on. Like they know that there's something wrong, so they're doing things to fix it. So it'll be exciting to see where that goes. And then it's just been a lot of busy things happening with my full-time job. The biggest event of the year that we organise and host happens the start of October. So obviously we are about 6 weeks out from that now, which is terrifying. But a lot of the kind of printed signage, brochures, things like that, all go to print in just over 2 weeks. There's a lot to do. So I'm just going to be snowed under doing that for the next few weeks. That's also why I think I prefer colour blocking over confetti, which, saying that out loud, I realise sounds like 2 very different things, and like, where's the connection here? So I would assume anyone would feel the same, but if you stop working on a section, you like to be able to see that you've made progress, or I do anyway. So like colour blocking, this has been, what, 20 minutes? It's not a huge amount, especially because I've been talking. I would be able to go much faster if I wasn't talking at the same time. But you can see progress here. Whereas if that had been all confetti, I wouldn't have made nearly as much progress as that in the same time. And especially when I'm working on sections like around this size, it just feels like the small amounts of time I get to work on the kit when I'm so busy with my normal job, I don't see the progress. So as a kind of, let's shape this first. Like, I want to say a general rule because it's not a rule, but in general, I will work on my diamond paintings for about an hour a day. Like, just in the evenings once I'm home, I'll work on it for about an hour and then go do dinner, do housework, just chill out, or maybe sometimes continue for a bit longer. But when I'm so busy with work, I'll be lucky if I can work on it, like work on my diamond painting for 15 minutes each evening. So when you're only working on it for such a short amount of time, you don't get to see that progress. When you're working in confetti areas anyway. So yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not accomplishing as much, even though I am, which I know sounds very, very confusing, but there we go. But yeah, that's pretty much been my August. Can also feel the sun coming in the window as well. I've got the window just behind me there, or to the side of me there. It's been raining all morning, and now suddenly not raining, there's very few clouds in sight and it's nice blue sky. Which has pretty much been what the weather's been like the past week. Do you need a jacket? Are you going to be okay in t-shirt and shorts? Who knows, because it changes its mind every 10 minutes. I am glad that the heat waves are over though. And I know everyone always is like, oh, the UK can't handle a heat wave, we've got X amount of temperature and their temperatures aren't that high. But I think everyone forgets that heat waves are relevant to the country. So our average temperature over summer is something like 24 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit. So when we're used to our top temperatures being 24, 25, and suddenly we get 32, it's rough. I'm sure if we were always getting 32, 34, then yeah, we wouldn't be bothered by it, but there we go. I have been, Cuba is the only place outside the UK that I have been on holiday, and they were actually having a heat wave for them when we were over there. So the average day temperature was 38, and I think the hottest temperature we had while we were there was 42. Again, Celsius, don't know what it is in Fahrenheit. But that still didn't feel that bad because the humidity is completely different as well. So in the UK we have quite high humidity. I don't actually know what it is today, but I know it's been around 80-90 the last week. And during these heat waves, it's generally 90 to 100% humidity for the whole time, which I think is what makes the heat over here so much worse. Plus the fact we don't have AC or pools. Like in Cuba, just jump in the pool. It was lovely. Or go to even like outside bar areas had AC in their outside seating area. Whereas you're lucky if you get AC inside buildings here, never mind outside. So yeah. Thankfully we're over that. I am very much a blankets hot chocolate kind of person, so I will be happy for the cooler weather. Although I don't like how dark it gets out so early. Like, it's already dark at about 7:30, 8 o'clock now. And I'm not a fan of that, because give it a couple of months and I will be going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark, which isn't so fun. I'd much prefer the longer evenings. Yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough now, so let me know how your August is going, or how your August went. There's also quite a few events going on for September. Like, this is when all of the kind of Halloween events and things like that start happening. So let me know if you're participating in any of those. I will be once I finish this kit. They're normally, most of these events run September through to the end of October. So I've got plenty of time to jump in on one of those. But I have no idea what kit I'll be doing yet. Yeah, not sure, haven't decided. I will have to see which Halloween-y kits I've got, and then I'll probably do the same as I always do. The random name generator to select 2 and then put those 2 up on Instagram polls. So yeah, once I start getting to the end of this one, look out for that on my Instagram, and then you can vote for what kit I will be doing next. Anyway, that one there with the red is annoying me, but I've placed it now, so I don't know if I can be bothered to change it. We'll see how I feel when the rest of it's done. But anyway, thanks for joining me if you made it this far through all my weird ramblings. Yeah, and I will see you next month. Thanks for watching. Bye!